It's the late night fantasy goodies with your guys, Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer, Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark. We are going to recap a plucky and festive 12:30 slate. LeBron, 40 years old tonight, not planned. He'll play Cleveland on Tuesday night. In another episode, we break that down. But Doc, what the heck's going on, dude? We're almost ready to ring in a new year here. And it was an interesting slate of games. A lot of late games tonight on this Monday night slate.
Yeah, Joel Embiid graced us with his presence, had a nice game. Denver's box score is a thing of beauty, man. Everybody in Denver got stuff done. So I'm excited about getting in these games.
Let's do it, man. And before we do, we want to tell you about our awesome sponsor, Bet Online. They continue to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. They've got the earliest odds and in-game live betting. Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen with the largest selection of odds and everything from football, pro and college, basketball, pro and college, NHL, and UFC. Head to Bet Online today, and don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, the game starts here. Doc, it is time for our Magic Man of the night, and there were several good candidates here tonight. I believe there's 4 or 5 guys who fit the bill. So who are you going with for your Magic Man of the night?
Well, I wanted to go with Miles Bridges, but Andre refuses to let me talk about Miles Bridges. So I'm just going to say props to Miles. Good game, buddy. Keep shooting. I love it. I mentioned that Denver box score, man. Michael Porter had 21. Russell Westbrook had a triple-double. Jamal Murray had 20 and 10. Christian Brown had 20. He hit 9 and 12 shots. It's a thing of beauty. And it's topped off with whipped cream and cherry on top by Nikola Jokic. 36 points, 22 boards, 11 dimes, 4 steals, 3 triples. He's just a machine, man. He is a machine. There were other guys who could have got Magic Man of the night, but I got to give it to Jokic in the 11-point win over the Jazz. The Hawks are in for a doozy of a game on Wednesday. Or is it Tuesday?
Yeah. They most certainly are. You know, just when you see one of these, Wemby games, 26 and 9 with 4 assists and 7 blocks and 3 steals and 2 threes. And, and then you're like, he's the best. And then you see these Jokic games and you're like, it's not, I get the block thing, right? But it's just, Jokic is amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. For him, like, to take his game to like a markedly different level after already winning 3 MVP awards, it's unbelievable. I'm not going to say it's unparalleled. It's probably been done before, but this isn't usually how it goes. Usually it's just like LeBron when he won 4 out of 5. I'd have to go back and look at, but I don't remember it being like, midstream, he just like popped up to an incredibly different level of production like Jokic has this year. It's just, and so it makes you think, like, what's next? Like, is he capable of like 35, 15, and 13 for a season? Like, what are we doing here? It's stupid stuff, dude. My Magic Man of the night is Norman Powell's in my brain. Mark Williams is in. Ooh, Mark Williams. What a line tonight. But I'm going Josh Hart, Doc. I'm going Josh Hart for my Magic Man of the night. Had a fat triple-double tonight, folks. This was a Jason Kidd triple-double. And those of you old schoolers, you know the Jason Kidd triple-double. What wasn't a huge point total triple-double, but so many goodies. 23, 15, and 10 for Josh Hart tonight. He had 2 steals. He had 4 threes. Doc, I looked in on a Basketball Monster, was 17th for the season. He is giving high second-round value. Josh Hart, Okay, just a magnificent season. He's my Magic Man of the night. And New York moved to 13 games over 500 tonight with a 20-point win over Washington.
Say that last part. What'd you say about somebody went off against Washington?
Yeah, Josh Hart tonight.
Oh,
with,
yeah,
with the huge game.
Okay, yeah, I sorry. He has not missed a step this season, and I'm not quite sure why we thought that Tom Thibodeau was not going to go back to Josh Hart after what we saw last year. I mean, the dude plays 40 minutes a game. He wants to play in every game. He's out there in every game. And I love the fact that Tibbs only plays 5 or 6 guys. Like, this is fantasy heaven if you've got Knicks on your team. They all play, they all contribute. And OG Anunoby's had some really fun games this year. Had 18 and 8 tonight. So, but yeah, Josh Hart. There were people sleeping on him coming into the year. I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, Doc, we got to remember what changed things, right? Like if Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo were still on New York, Josh Hart would not be 17th in value in fantasy basketball this year. He wouldn't even be close to that. He'd be a solid player. He'd probably be a top 100 player, but he would not be a top 20 player. Once those guys got moved out, I became very high on Bridges, Hart, and OG Anunoby. But you know that I traded away OG Anunoby in the Cam Dynasty as a part of a Donovan Mitchell trade because Randall and Dante were there, and I'm like, OG's going to be in that 13 to 15 range, and I'd rather bundle him up and go big game hunting, which I did, and I do not regret that trade at all. I got Donovan Mitchell out of it. It was Malik Monk, Alex Caruso, OG Anunoby, and I think a second round pick, I forget, for Donovan Mitchell. I don't regret that one at all. All right, Doc, let's talk about Chicago and Charlotte here as we move along. Let me just see something. Yeah, so let me make a quick note here. But let's move on to Chicago and Charlotte. First game here tonight. Zach LaVine, buzzkill, came into the game. I do my lineup setting on in the morning, and a lot of times my afternoon spiral and I can't stay on time. So it is what it is. Like I set my lineup and I got burned on this because Zach LaVine, and like I got a day job, right? So I can't just like monitor sports all day. I've actually got to do some real things in this world now. But Doc, so. That's why, I'd say to a lot of people, set alarms if you can, just to give you that little jolt at 6:30 or something, just to give your lineups a double check. But sometimes you just don't have the ability to do that. Zach LaVine missed tonight's game. And so, Doc, let's talk about Josh Giddey here for a minute. Tonight, 13, 12, and 6. Previous game, 23, 15, and 10, which amazingly, I believe is the exact same line that Josh Hart had tonight. Wow, what a coincidence, right? 23, 15, and 10. Josh Hart tonight, 23, 15, and 10. The previous game for Josh Giddey. I'm a numbers nerd that way. Maybe that's like nothing to you guys. I think that's kind of a cool coincidence. But if LaVine is going to miss a chunk, and God forbid he misses a chunk, it's Giddey season in Chicago because I would assume who is out right now as well. But how about these back-to-back goodie lines from your boy Giddey?
It's what he does. It's what he does. And he hit 1 of 9 triples and 4 of 16 shots. And he had 2 turnovers. So that's the bad. But the good is all the PRAs. And that's just what he does. I like it. I'm a big Giddey fan still. Kobe White, man. 23, 10, and 9, but he hit 8 of 24 shots and 1 of 11 3-pointers. And I think, if I heard it correctly, this game featured the most missed 3-pointers in an NBA game ever. I'll have to double check that, but Kobe White hitting 1 of 11 of them certainly didn't help.
Let me go to the I'll try to do some fact checking on that real quick on Charlotte and Chicago tonight. And
Miles Bridges was 2 of 13.
yeah, I'm not seeing it. So we press on here. So Doc, on the Charlotte side of this game, okay, no Brandon Miller, left ankle sprain. He's missed 5 of the last 6 games now due to that. Not good. It tells me that he came back. The ankle was still barking at him. Now he's back on the shelf. It may create an even longer absence than that first little portion. LaMelo Ball, don't get me started. I mean, soft. It's just so soft, Doc. It's so soft. Pillowy soft. Okay. Like, what is soft in this world? A puppy dog's fur is soft. What is soft? A cotton ball is soft. What is soft? The younger generation. I'm just kidding. What is soft in this world right now? Okay. LaMelo Ball is freaking soft in this world right now. Dude, Merriam-Webster's dictionary should change whatever picture they have by soft. Okay. And they probably have a picture of Brandon Ingram. They might even have a picture of Nene Hilario. That's for you, Doc. I know you love that one. They may have a picture of your guy, Nene Hilario. Okay. But dang it, they should have a picture of LaMelo Ball. Left ankle, right wrist soreness, ruled out, 2nd straight game. Dude, the bottom line, these guys don't love the game enough, dude. They don't love the game enough, Doc. Anthony Edwards loves the game. Anthony Edwards plays hurt, okay? Doesn't believe in load management. James Harden, okay? He's got warts. We all know this. But guess what, damn it? He plays every freaking night. Big minutes, high usage rate. He told NBA TV one night when I was working, we don't believe it. I don't believe in load management, okay? He doesn't take nights off. Jason Tatum doesn't take nights off. DeMar DeRozan doesn't take nights off, okay? He's so soft, dude. He's so soft. And again, I wrote about him in both of my buy low, sell high. Pardon me. In both of my buy low, sell high articles this year, Sports Ethos Fantasy Basketball, I wrote about LaMelo Ball. And if he's healthy at the time when I do that article in another month or so, I'm going to put him in the article again. I'm done with these guys that miss all these games.
I thought you said you weren't going to yell today.
Well, I got fired up. See this right here? Oh, love. Oh, the kids do this and love it. Okay. Like whatever this is, can we do it upside down? That's LaMelo Ball. Okay. In terms of how he feels about the game of basketball. But enough of that damn bull crap. Okay. Mark Williams, Doc. This is the goodie game of all time from Mark Williams. This is what the fuss is about. This is why people overdrafted him. And was that a good decision? No, that was not a good decision, okay? But he's here, 20 and 12, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 9 of 9 from the field, Doc. We had the Mark Williams game go down tonight.
We did, and I missed it because I was not going to mess with Mark Williams this season until I saw stuff like this. So maybe next year I'll have some Mark Williams shares on my teams. Right now, I don't have any of it. And it doesn't really make me sad because it took almost half the season to get here. But I'm glad he's doing well, man. He looks really good out there. Props to him for getting 9 shots up when Miles Bridges was out there chucking 32 shots. But Miles Bridges had a good game. 31 points, 12 boards, 8 assists. That's very un-Miles Bridges-like right there. So that was cool. And Vasila Micic, my guy, I usually roll with him whenever LaMelo's out. But he's making it tough lately, man. 1 of 13, 7.7 assists.
Yeah, he did not have a good line tonight. And he's too inconsistent, Doc. He was better at the end of last year when it was him and Trey Mann. And it's probably the moving parts around him. I don't know. Maybe he's just a year older. Maybe the summer took something out of him. He was playing with Serbia, with Jokic's team. So I don't really know. But last year he was more consistent than he has been this year. And I look at him as a dice roll streamer right now. Whereas when Ball first went out, we were going to go get him, go get Vasi Micic. He hasn't backed up that confidence with the play on the court. We talked a little bit, I talked about Josh Hart as my magic man, so I don't want to belabor that point. Knicks at Washington tonight. The Knicks won again. Kyle Kuzma played basketball tonight, Doc. Kyle Kuzma lives. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal in 21 minutes. First game since November 27th. And you know what this means, Doc? This means Justin Champagnie has just vaporized for fantasy basketball. He'll be probably coming off the bench now. The stat lines are going to be minimal. I hope I'm wrong about this because I have Justin Champagnie in 30 deep, but I look at this as a death knell for Justin Champagnie.
It's going to hurt. I think you're right. Champagnie and Bilal Coulibaly has been so good. And it's probably going to buzzkill him a little bit as well, I would guess. And Bub Carrington got hurt in this game. I don't know if they're calling it a concussion or not, but basically, I think that's what's going on. Which that's going to mean your guy Malcolm Brogdon is going to be stepping up and getting stuff done. He had 18, 6, and 7 with 2 steals tonight. But man, Coulibaly has been so good. He only hit 1 of 10 shots tonight. So that kind of stinks, but I'm sold on Coulibaly. I feel like he's finally arrived for this 5-win team.
I'm not going to stand in the way of that take at all. Doc, Clippers at Pelicans tonight. How many games in a row have the Pelicans lost? I got to look this up. Is it like 11 or 12 games in a row? Like,
hey, I don't know, dude.
The patience of David Griffin not to whack a coach around here. They've lost 10 games in a row. They're 5-28. I mean, my God, they're 1-14 on the road. I mean, every squirrel finds a nut, right? Nope, not in New Orleans. They don't. Those squirrels are starving, bro. They are skinny like a wafy Hollywood actress or model who never eats, right? And probably lives on Diet Coke, some kind of exotic drug, and oxygen, right? That's how skinny this guy is, man. It's crazy what's going on with that. But Doc, it's not working out for New Orleans at all. They can't get wins at all. But Doc, let's talk about the Clippers here because they won this game. You were talking about Norman Powell All-Star, and I brought up Jalen Johnson earlier. Again, we got to like in our give ourselves a little homework assignment here to come up with these all-star teams. Kind of see, because you throw that out there, oh, this guy should be an all-star. And you got to remember there's 12 spots, okay? And usually like 10 of those spots are just gobbled up by the obvious big boys. And then there's a couple of spots you can get freaky with. But the LA Clippers this year, Doc, James Harden came in tonight 28th in Basketball Monster. Norman Powell, 35th in Basketball Monster. Zubac, 77th in Basketball Monster. Powell and Zubac are having career years. Harden's just having a solid year. And the other take I had on this game, Doc, was on the Pelican side. DeJounte Murray, obviously inspired by the stealing greatness of Dyson Daniels, because what did DeJounte end with? I got to look at the final box. I know he had 6 steals at one point tonight.
6 steals. That's what he had.
He ended up with 6. Okay, so over the last 4 games, he is at 6-3-3-6. Obviously inspired by Dyson Daniels. We know that DeJounte is one of the top steal thieves in the league. But what do you got here on the Clippers' victory over the New Orleans Pelicans?
Murray was good, man. 13, 10, 8 assists, 6 steals, 1 3. Like that's rock solid. All 5 starters scored in double figures. Yves Missi, 12 points, 9 boards, 5 blocks. That's nice. I like that. But then the rest of them, the bench is non-existent for the Pelicans. So you either get the guys I just talked about, CJ, DeJounte, Trey Murphy, Yves, and Herb Jones. You get them or you get nothing. So that's really all that's going on there. And then my Clippers, man, Norman Powell, 35 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 4 triples. I love Norman Powell. And if Kawhi Leonard comes back and ruins this, I will never forgive Kawhi Leonard.
What he's going to come back, and he's going to be I'm just thinking about this for a minute. Like, the Clippers are overachieving at such a high level, and there's such good role definition on that team right now, Doc, right? James
Derrick
Harden's got
Jones
the rock in
Jr.,
his hand.
Chris Dunn, yeah, all
Yeah,
Nick Batum.
Norman Powell is just he's never played at a higher level. Zubac's never played at a higher level. Chris Dunn's a goodie guy. He is one of the best steal guys in the league. It's always 2 steals from Chris Dunn. He's been solid. Derrick Jones Jr. has been solid. Like, when Kawhi comes back, and I mean, he's Kawhi Leonard. You bring him back, you play him, and all this kind of stuff. But dang, they got a good thing going right now without him. And I didn't know that at all, that they would be like, without Paul George and without Kawhi Leonard, to do this at any semblance of the level they're doing it. Ty Lue, but he's absolutely elite, man. He's absolutely elite. There's so many good candidates for Coach of the Year, dude. Jamal Mosley, of course, Kenny Atkinson, Tyronn Lue. There are others, but those are the 3 that come to mind here immediately. Folks, we appreciate you all tuning into this episode, whether you're joining us live on YouTube or on Twitter or listening later on our podcast feed. You can help us keep the show going. Do so by subscribing to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast and leave us a 5-star review. It would also mean a lot if you guys would subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. We appreciate y'all. Let's talk about Denver and Utah. The Nuggets get the victory here tonight against their rivals from the Rocky Mountains. 7-24 for Utah. My goodness. Denver's now 5 games over 500. Doc kind of went through the box score here. I just want to amplify Russell Westbrook because he talked about Jokic and this just fat ass stat line. Like, what is that? But Russell Westbrook, man, 16, 10, and 10. The guy's just timeless, man. And I want to give so much credit to Michael Malone. Look, and Calvin Booth too, their shot caller, okay, because he's been proven right about the Kentavious Caldwell-Pope thing. I didn't like the move at the time, but Christian Brown's been fan-freaking-tastic, and you get Russell Westbrook, and like it's kind of working a little bit, all right? But Michael Malone just wants dogs who play hard. And I love that he didn't overthink it, because so many teams in the NBA just will not do business with Russell Westbrook. A, personality. B, this perception of reputation that's like every teammate he's ever had loves him, okay? And then you've got the fact that he doesn't hit threes at any kind of an efficient rate, right? So those are like a lot of teams just like 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. Michael Malone's like, I don't care about any of that. I want guys that know how to play, that play hard, and are available every single night. I just super applaud Michael Malone for getting it, because I think a lot of people don't get it with Russell Westbrook. And Doc, he's in his mid-30s, on his way to the Hall of Fame, continuing to put up big-time stat lines. I'm really impressed, man. What do you got on Denver and Utah tonight?
Well, to carry on what you're saying with Westbrook, I think it's an ideal place for him to be. They need a shooting guard. They don't need Russell to have the ball in his hands all the time. They have Jamal Murray. They have Nikola Jokic. They have Michael Porter. They have Christian Brown. Like, they've got players. They're missing KCP from last year. And Westbrook knows that this is Jokic's deal, and he knows it's Jamal Murray's deal. And I feel like he fits in really well with what they're trying to do. And I feel like they need Russell Westbrook just like Russell Westbrook needs them. Like, Jamal Murray's not the most reliable guy around. And if he goes down, which he will because he's Jamal Murray, Westbrook's going to have the ball in his hands at that point. But, you know, as long as they're all healthy, Westbrook just fits in so perfectly there. So I'm with you, man. I think it's cool. I'm good. Good with him being there, and I like the fact that he's having success with Denver. Utah, 7 wins on the season. What are the shutdown windows looking like for these guys? Like, the clock is ticking on Lauri Markkanen, right?
We got one more month, and then it's about to get real. One more month in Utah.
Johnny Collins, we haven't seen in 10 days. I'm really worried about him. I think Keontae George is shutdown proof. I think they're just going to let him keep running out there and doing his thing.
And
Colin
shoot
Sexton
33%.
and Jordan Clarkson might be sell high guys as well, because you have to wonder how long they're going to keep that going.
Again, I want Jordan Clarkson traded to a team that needs 15 to 20 off the bench every night. Keontae George came back tonight, folks. He had missed the previous 4 games with a left ankle sprain. He did not do very much to impact the box score, however. So we press on. It is Fantasy NBA today. Ethos After Dark with your boys Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer, the Dallas Mavericks at the Sacramento Kings. Okay, so Doc, I got my games a little bit out of order here. I'm back where I need to be. Before we move on to the mash unit that is Dallas, let's talk about Mike Brown getting whacked by the Sacramento Kings. Were you surprised? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? You go first, man. Mike Brown whacked here by the Sacramento Kings.
I think Brewski called it Friday morning when we recorded our show. He's like, man, Mike Brown is on the hot seat, something like that. I was not surprised whatsoever. We've been talking about it all season, man. They're not lighting the beam. They only have 7 wins at home. And I don't think this is really Mike Brown's fault necessarily. I mean, throwing DeMar DeRozan into the middle of what was working last year was risky. And we all wondered how it was going to fit and how it was going to work coming in. And it's working to the tune of 14 and 19, 14 wins, 19 losses. Keegan Murray, just sort of a forgotten man out there. De'Aaron Fox has been kind of weird. He was great on Monday, 33, 6 and 6. There's something missing, and it may be just DeMar DeRozan in there cluttering everything up. You're muted.
My bad. Bingo. There. Acting right there, because I did bring it back. Who traded for DeMar DeRozan, Doc?
Not Mike Brown.
Wasn't Mike Brown. It was Monty McNair, who recently won Executive of the Year for putting together. He won Executive of the Year for hiring Mike Brown. Think about that. And then the season that they had that year when they were lighting the beam, and they didn't even win a playoff series, Doc. The renaissance of the Kings. Yes, they snapped a 16-year playoff drought. Okay, good for them. And Mike Brown got rewarded for that. Remember, Mike Brown won unanimous Coach of the Year. And now he's whacked. We know that winning Coach of the Year is the first sign that you're about to get fired. Ironically, it is. It's like, and it happens like really quickly too. It's not like you won Coach of the Year 7 years ago. No, you won it last year or the year before, and they whack you. Like Joe Pesci and Goodfellas, man. I mean, just one to the back of the head. Bye, get out of here. Not cool. Doc, I don't like this. Okay, this is obviously a shot caller scapegoating the coach to preserve his own ass against Vivek Ranadive. That's all this is. Monty McNair is in job preservation mode because he knows he messed up his team by trading for DeMar DeRozan. He knows this. It doesn't fit. They didn't need him, Doc. Right? You had Keegan Murray who was ready to take another step, right? You probably still have Harrison Barnes, all right, doing his 12-point. I don't know. But they had that thing cooking. They didn't need DeMar DeRozan. They got a little bit greedy, Doc, and it's too much change. Sometimes you just got to continuity and keep working on what you have and perfecting what you have, and they got impatient. But Mike Brown got fired about this, and I don't know when Mike Brown or if he's going to get another job, Doc. He had the Cleveland job, then was not a head coach for a long, long time, got this job, and had it, got an award for it, and now he's out of a job again. A lot of front offices, Doc, they want to go for that Joe Mazzulla, that Will Hardy, right? That young guy, that hotshot up and coming guy. And Mike Brown's not that guy. I love Mike Brown. He's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. I'm telling you, Doc, like he's just so unbelievably nice and genuine and looks you in the eye and listens to you and actually gives a shit what you're saying, even if you're the runner, the makeup artist, the camera operator. Like, he genuinely loves people. I'm a big Mike Brown fan. I think it's bull crap, dude. I think Monty McNair is scapegoated.
Yeah. Again, I don't really have an opinion either way. I've never really hung out with Mike Brown. I used to make fun of him when he was coaching the Cavaliers because LeBron was really coaching that team. But yeah, it is too bad because, like I said at the beginning, it's not his fault. He didn't make these decisions. He didn't. I mean, I feel like everybody was like, how is DeMar DeRozan going to fit in with Sabonis and Fox? And, I'm always kind of, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt until I see it with my own eyes. So I was like, maybe it'll work. But so many people were like, this is not going to work. It's not a surprise it's not working. And I think getting Mike Brown out of there might make things worse.
So to the game tonight, Sacramento won, right? Oh, yeah, Mike Brown, and they didn't need Mike Brown. Guys, Dallas played without Luka, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, and Derek Lively. All right, that wasn't, win one for the coach and all that. Wasn't Vince Lombardi coming through those doors, okay? That was, you're at home, and you played a completely decimated team. This box score is really ugly. Doc mentioned De'Aaron Fox had a really good game tonight. Spencer Dinwiddie had 30. Grimes had a really small game tonight, shot 4 of 12. PJ Washington soared for 28, and his breakout season continues. Dallas got basically nothing off of their bench. Jaden Hardy was a big-time disappointment in a starting role. Gafford was a disappointment. Well, he had 5 blocks, but the 8 and the 6 is pretty lacking. And the points and the boards, the blocks definitely makes up for that. But that's not a real attractive box score right there, Doc. Anything else on this one? Are you ready to move on to Cleveland and Golden State?
Well, I just think that the takeaway is you go get Spencer Dinwiddie and you roll with him until we see Luka again.
All right, dude. So start our conversation about Cleveland at Golden State. I'll just give the people the final score here. Cleveland drilled the Warriors in San Francisco, 113-95. And the Cleveland Cavaliers now, Doc, have moved to 28-4. Dude, that's one of the best 32-game starts in league history. That's probably on the internet right now, right? The start, and I mean, that's historic, dude. 28-4 is a historic start.
It is. And it doesn't even make sense how they're doing it because you look at this box score. 7-7 from Evan Mobley, right? Like, not good. Jared Allen, 12-9, but he has steal and 2 blocks. Darius Garland scored 25 points. Donovan Mitchell scored 23 points. And their bench was just a collection of triple singles, if you know what I mean. So they still dominated this game and just toyed with the Golden State Warriors, man. Cleveland, I don't know what makes them so great, but they are great. They are a great team.
Kenny Atkinson, Doc. Think about it. This is the same freaking team. Yeah. Going all the way down to George Niang and Karis LeVert and Ty Jerome. And, he was hurt last year, so that's different. But he was on the team last year. Isaac Okoro, Max Strus. And Max Strus missed a million games to start the year. But you see what I'm saying? They didn't go make a DeMar DeRozan move. They just said, we're keeping what we got. Even though guys like me were on NBA radio saying they needed to trade Darius Garland as soon as Donovan Mitchell made the decision to re-up with the team, right? And the team's like, screw that. We love our squad. We're not trading Jared Allen. We're maxing out Evan Mobley even before he's playing at a max level because we love our guys. And Kobe Altman, okay, is one of the best GMs in this league for building this team and then for not listening to every other damn person and doing it the right way and not doing it the Monty McNair way, where you tried to fast track it and take shortcuts and all this stuff. Like, they're just chopping wood in Cleveland, Doc. And now, and I'm a JB Bickerstaff fan, but clearly Kenny Atkinson is bringing this team more to a boil than JB ever was able to do. And JB got them to number 4 and number 4 in back-to-back years, Doc. That's solid. He won 99 games over the last 2 years. Very solid, okay? But Kenny Atkinson now has this team looking championship worthy. He has this team looking like, if it was a different year in a different conference, a lock for the conference finals, Doc. They look like a conference finals team to me, a team that's going to win their first round 4-0, a team that's going to win in the second round, and, who knows, probably a bloodbath, and then play in the conference finals. But you're in the East, and you got Boston, and you got New York. And so that's why, to me, one of those teams is not going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but all 3 of those teams, the eye test tells you that they're all conference finalists. So that just sets up for a really fun run in the Eastern Conference playoffs, dude.
Yeah, and it's going to be sad for whoever doesn't make it, because Cleveland is really good and Boston is really good. And the Knicks, they'll probably be completely out of gas by the time the playoffs get here, because they're all tired of running 40 minutes every single night with no breaks. But man, the Knicks are fired up because their guys are not missing games. They're playing every night. But yeah, this Cavaliers team is so good that it looks like they're not even trying that hard. Like they're just toying with people.
Hey, Doc, the New York Knicks are literally proving that load management is a joke. They're playing 5 guys. They play the whole game, yet they play every single game. They play big minutes in every single game, and they're winning and they're successful. Okay, here's what I mean by this. I have a theory, Doc, that less is not more with ball players. More is more with ball players. Okay. I don't think football players go hard enough in practice. If you go to an NFL practice, Doc, there is so much standing around and they rarely go live. And it's a lot of just skill work. And I've been very unimpressed with the NFL practices I've seen. Very little pad cracking. And to me, it's just soft. It's really, really soft and pampering. And you see a zillion injuries every year in the NFL. But going back to basketball, I don't think our guys are seasoned and calloused enough to play hardcore basketball. But Tom Thibodeau's team is, right? And so they're like, every night. And it's because they play hard every night. A body in motion stays in motion. And, we're going to give you a night off. We're going to give you a night off. We're going to take shortcuts here. It has a dilapidating function with your team. I say it's pedal to the metal all game, every game. Championship or bust mentality every single time you take the floor. And that will create that revved up engine that will get guys in better shape, and it will actually keep them on the hardwood. The New York Knicks are literally proving that right now. Doc, let me go in a little bit to Cleveland and Golden State here. Again, very, very happy that, and you went through the Cleveland side very, very well. I'm very happy with Trace Jackson-Davis here. 16-16, 2 blocks. And, Doc, I want to look at his game log here real quick, because over the last several games, he's now 5 consecutive games with 10-plus points. Back-to-back games with double-doubles. Okay, this dude is literally taking off as we speak. 6 blocks over the last 2 games. So it's all very exciting stuff with Trace Jackson-Davis. Now, give it a week, and Steve Kerr will be bringing him off the bench and playing him 9 minutes. But we got to enjoy it while it lasts, okay? Dennis Schroeder, I told you, I didn't like the fit with Golden State. Another lame line tonight, 12 points, 4 of 11 shooting. Draymond Green still in the way of Jonathan Kuminga, who had a double-double off the bench tonight. Buddy Hield should be playing more, but on nights when he shoots 1 of 8, maybe not. But Golden State is a very weird, funky team right now, Doc. Stephen Curry was dreadful tonight, 11 points in 29 minutes on 3 of 11 shooting from 3. So are you ready to move on, Doc, to our final game of the night here, Philadelphia at Portland?
Yeah. The only thing I need to say about Golden State is Steph Curry needs to be Steph Curry or they're garbage. And these other guys taking as many shots or Jonathan Kuminga took one more shot than Curry. Trace Jackson Davis took the same number of shots. Curry needs to be shooting the ball 25 times a game, or this is not.
I say get him up, JK. All the hating Steve Kerr does on him. You take more shots than Steph Curry, JK. I see you. Let it fly, young man. Let it fly. Right in Steve
Buddy
Kerr's
Hield.
face.
Buddy Hield, man. Ugh.
So inconsistent, right? So, I mean, he'll go for 35 with 10 threes.
He's been terrible. They could use somebody Hield in their life as well, but he's not. He is not getting it done. So I don't know. And great triple single from Draymond Green tonight. He hit 1 of 10 points, scored, or 1 of 10 shots, scored 2 points. Fantastic.
Do you remember Sean Kemp's Lister Blister? Do you remember the Lister Blister jam by Sean Kemp?
No.
Are you serious right now? It's the one where he cocked it all the way back and threw it down. And then got down in like a catcher's crouch and pointed at him like this. You remember that dunk?
Yes.
Jonathan Kuminga should do the Lister Blister to Steve Kerr every time he scores a bucket. You know how when you score a bucket, you point to the passer, right?
In your face.
No, but I mean, not just pointing to Steve Kerr, but he should go down in a catcher position and do the thing like this, right at Steve Kerr. I would freaking love that, dude. Bring some semi-pro to Golden State Warriors. They lose every freaking game right now, Doc. I mean, for real. Like, let's spice it up here, JK, by getting into your boy, Steve Kerr. Again, we love Golden State fans. We don't hate your team. We just hate your coach's rotations, okay? I don't have a problem with the dynasty and all that kind of stuff. It's Steve Kerr's rotations suck. They're the worst in the league. Now, the Monty Williams, thank God, has been blown out as a head coach because his rotations were the worst in the league, and now he's been usurped by Steve Kerr. So one more game here to talk about, Doc. Oh, Joel Embiid. Dude, I'm smelling. No. I'm not going to allow you for this. I'm not going to do it. And here's why, Doc. When's the last time Joel Embiid faced Nikola Jokic at altitude in downtown Denver at Ball Arena? Huh?
I don't know. It's been a minute.
I think he has, but it's like 6 years. It's like 2019 is the last time he played Jokic in Denver. Like in a previous freaking decade, okay? So he licked his chops tonight, Doc. He's like, DeAndre Ayton, I'm giving him 40. All right, it was a blowout. He would have given him 40. It was 37 points in 36 freaking minutes. I mean, wow. No blocks, no steals. So he was just out there just threading it. He was 12 of 13 from the free throw line. I'm sure he had DeAndre Ayton all twisted up in foul trouble. Only 3 fouls for DeAndre Ayton. But Doc, I'm not. That's it. I'm not lauding you. I'm not like, oh, Joel Embiid, what a game. No, like you drill DeAndre Ayton. Who cares? Go drill Jokic in Denver. You ducker, you hider, you fraud.
Wow. November 8th, 2019. Last time he played in Denver.
There you go. But he's going to go play in Portland. But he'll go play in Portland. But he can't play at Denver.
This game had a bettor's nightmare written all over it because you had to figure Philly might blow out Portland, and the blowout stopped guys. Joel Embiid, it stopped him. Tyrese Maxey was on his way. He finished with 23 points. So if you were betting overs in this game, the blowout got you. And it didn't really get Paul George. He just sucked on his own.
That's the year he's having. By the way, did you see Kelly Oubre, my guy, with 8 steals tonight?
Oof.
8 steals from Kelly Oubre. Where's Scoot Henderson? Let me look at his line. Scoot Henderson's been having some big lines, and he got Chauncey Billups tonight. 2 of 7, 6.7 assists. Womp, womp. Anthony Simons was solid. Shaden Sharp was not. DeAndre Ayton tonight, way to step up. Dominating. He was dominating tonight, Doc, against Joel Embiid with his 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He had 2 blocks tonight. It's like a career high for him. And your boy Denny Avdia had 10 turnovers tonight.
Double.
He had 10 turns tonight, dude. And my boy Tumani Kamara, the forgotten man in fantasy hoops, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals. He always puts a goodie line out there.
Where have his threes gone?
Good point.
I feel
he
like
might be.
I don't know. He's not making threes.
It may just be like a little shooting slump. It also may be a little bit of heavy legs, Doc. We're halfway through the year. He's been playing 30-plus minutes. He's guarding the opposition's best offensive player on most nights. So maybe it's a legs thing for him.
Yeah, he had 2 in back-to-back games. And then since then, he's like one of, what is that? 5 or 9? Like one of 13 over his last 4 games. So that's been kind of rough.
Andre Lemus, our producer,
Kamara's
saying DeAndre Ayton's career high in blocks was 5. He did it twice. 5 blocks.
Did he do it tonight?
He did not. He had 2 tonight. He had 2. Which is noteworthy. It's not a bagel. Usually it's a bagel these days. He's too entitled for blocks, John.
Thank God he got himself to the arena and was able to play in this game. Mm-hmm. I was worried about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's wintertime. The weather's changing. It's getting cold.
I hope Portland has another ice storm and we put him to the test and see if he learned anything from last year's debacle.
If he misses another game because of snow, I'm literally going to lose my mind. The dancing panda or whatever Yabusele's nickname is. He
Yabu, remember? It's just Yabu.
Yabu, 16 points, 4 boards, a steal, a block, and 2 threes. That's nasty.
Dude, he's my boy. Did you not fall in love with him in a basketball way?
The Olympics?
During the Olympics? Didn't you love the way he was playing and the throw is flying through the air and he's just this huge body guy doing all this like sleek stuff on the court? I was like, I like this guy. I'm like, because you remember your boy Cordon Ye, right? The former draft pick by the Hawks. Like he had some moments, right? But it wasn't sustainable. But Yabu was like killing it every game. And against big boys, right? And a lot of times he was a far better player than Victor Wembanyama on the French national team at the Olympics, right? Because Wemby had moments in spike games, but Yabu, I would say, was just probably a little bit more overall consistent than Wemby was. And to me, Wemby wasn't featured enough by Vincent Collet, and also Wemby wasn't aggressive enough when he had the ball in his hands. But dude, nobody had to tell Yabu that in the Olympics. Yo, man, we need you to be a little bit more aggressive. He freaking did not need to be told that, right? He was bringing it downhill, trying to dunk on LeBron James and stuff. It was really cool, man. And I think it's awesome that the Philadelphia 76ers went to get him. That dude belongs in the NBA, Doc, for sure.
I think it's awesome that I've given him a new nickname, the Dancing Panda. Where the hell did that come from?
The Dancing Panda. Doc, it's 1:08 a.m. Eastern time. I think that's where that comes from. So that's it. We have broken down all 7 games here on Monday night. Anything else for the people before we say night?
No, I'm gonna be up.
We say night.
I'm gonna be sitting here writing a column, working the wire for Sports Ethos, and I'm gonna try to get that done this evening before I go to bed.
What are your New Year's Eve plans, by the way?
The new restaurant I mentioned in the other show is having their official grand opening tomorrow. So we're probably going to start out there. And then one of the old retired servers from Johnny B's, like one of my favorite bartenders, is going to be working tomorrow night for the first time in like 5 years here. So probably go over and see her after that. Just chilling. I will not be driving a vehicle tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going through the logistics in my mind right now. I'm probably just going to Uber into St. Pete. I got a concert I'm seeing tomorrow night. Papadozio, a jam band. You know me, Doc. I got to go. I got to go hear the Unsi Unsi on New Year's Eve, man. I got to go hear the
You're all about the
countdown and the
jam.
confetti. The confetti goes whoosh out and all that. I got to do that on New Year's Eve, man. That's my thing.
Well, I think you're probably going to have a good time.
Oh, I know I'll have a good time. And you will too, my friend. And our guy, Andre Lemouchi, was telling us about his customs, his Portuguese New Year's Eve customs, and he's going to be having a great time. We hope all of you have a great New Year's Eve as well. We will be off on 12/31. We'll be back on New Year's Day to wrap up all those games. We'll be looking back on the New Year's Eve games as well. So for the great Dr. A, for Andre Lemouche, I am Rick Kamla. And folks, just a couple of messages before we get out of here. We really appreciate you joining us today. And in a few hours, we're going to release a full preview of the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day games. To listen, subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast, as this will be a podcast-only segment, and you can find it wherever you listen to your podcast. Remember to download the Sports Ethos app. Do it now. We'd appreciate that. And this episode right here, this little ditty that we just did for you right here, was proudly presented by Bet Online. Happy New Year, everybody, and peace out.